Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host, Larry the Chupacabra, and today we're going to be talking about how to add annotations to your video on YouTube so that people can have little buttons that they can click on that'll take them to subscribe to your channel or to the next episode in a series that you're creating, or even just provides a little bit of extra information in the event that you forgot to edit something into the video or you wanted to correct something after the fact, but you didn't want to re-encode the video because uploading it again can be a bit of a pain in the butt. And these can take a number of forms. In my own video, I have a sort of end slate that kind of pops up at the bottom of my videos that encourages people to either subscribe to my channel, or if this is a longer series, like my Stardew Valley series, they can click on the next episode button, which will take them to the next episode in the series. And these can take a lot of different shapes and forms, like up here, we've got the Game Grumps, they've got a subscribe button and a next episode and previous episode. Then you've got, like, Sips and Shin, they've just got their own little next time button that pops up at the end so it's not quite as cluttered. And then you have people like C Nanners who don't necessarily have a specific ongoing series, because all of his videos and his friends' videos tend to be just sort of highlight clips, so he just puts up a couple of different videos that you might want to click on, along with some other information that kind of illustrates that he's got a Twitter and a Facebook account. You can subscribe, or you can visit his Craftly service, where they sell like craft supplies that are done up like loot box style. So you can do all sorts of things with these buttons, and I'm gonna show you how. So first, we're going to add some annotations to my Stardew Valley number 12 video. I think it has a subscribe button, but I just uploaded these other episodes, like 13 and 14, so I need to link to number 13 from number 12. So to do that, you want to go up to these tabs up here at the top of your YouTube video page. You've got enhancements, where you make sort of slight adjustments to your videos. You can add audio if you need to add like a background ambiance if you don't have any sound, because you're either doing like a tutorial like this and you feel you need to add something, or you can do annotations, cards, or add your own subtitles, but we just want the annotations for today. So this will load up, and initially this will look a little bit plain and not the most intuitive. So down here at the bottom, you have what is essentially a movie timeline, as if you were editing in Premiere Pro. You've got this timeline where you can drag across it to edit stuff, and then you can add, from whatever point you drag your cursor to, you can add an annotation. Now, for my videos, my annotations almost always live at the very end of the video, so I'll put my marker almost all the way to the end, maybe like 30, 40 seconds off of the ending, and I will let it play until my end index pops up. So if you give it a sec here, it should pop right up. And then after it comes all the way in, once it's faded completely onto the screen, so there's no transparent spots, that's exactly where I want to start adding annotations. So I'll make sure that I'm zoomed in really far with this little magnifying glass slider. And then I'm going to add a spotlight label onto the video, and this is basically just an invisible button. If they click anywhere inside of this box that shows up when I hover over it, this white box, this will be a button, and it will take them either to subscribe to my channel, to another video that I've linked in here, or in some limited cases, if you've been YouTubing long enough, I could also have this link to, say, merchandising that is attached to my channel. They do limit you on what you can link from these boxes because they want to prevent you from linking to some other outside website that might give people a virus or something else. And the only thing that shows up on here is this little white box that's called a stroke or an outline. And I can also add some text that says like, "Hello YouTube," and this will show up regardless of whether or not you're hovered over it. But I want this to be a discrete invisible box, so I'm going to move it over top of my subscribe button, and then I am going to hide the white box when they hover over it, And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the left half of this little bar here in my timeline up to my slider so that it doesn't appear before my index shows up. And this little bar down here, this just shows, or controls, I should say, how long your box appears for, from what time code to what ending time code. But I just want it from the start of the index to the end, and I typically don't recommend having these things up for more than 20-ish seconds on the whole. And then I'm going to click on the Add Link button, and I'm going to go into Text Edit. This is an old document that I should probably revise where I keep things like this little URL, and this URL is what you use if you want people to subscribe to your channel by clicking on this button. And this URL is just youtube.com/user/Larry Chupacabra !sub_confirmation = 1. And I will put that up on the screen for you guys and gals at home, and also in the video description so that you can just add your own name where my name is if you want people to subscribe. Now, it should be noted that you can just type in like your name, Larry Chupacabra, and this will work just fine. The reason why I continue to use the old-fashioned URL to do it is because this has been known to be buggy whenever YouTube rolls out some new adjustment to the system. Sometimes just putting in your username will not be guaranteed to work. If you have a URL for subscribing in here, at the very least, it will default to opening that URL up in the browser so that you don't run into people ending up in the wrong place or getting an error message. And then this button is ready. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add another spotlight button to my next episode button here. So I'll do the exact same stuff. I'll remove the stroke. I'll drag this box over so it matches up for time-wise, how long it shows up. And then I'm going to go to my Stardew Valley episode 13, and I'm going to copy this link and put it in here. Now, technically speaking, I'm probably going to delete that button after we're done with this tutorial, because until this video is made public, currently it is listed as private because I haven't added the details to it yet. If I don't make this public, it's just going to kick back an error that this video is unavailable when people click on that button. But if it is public, this button will take them right to the next video in the series so that they can go on watching my awesome farming, fishing adventures where I murder slime monsters and stuff. And then I'll make sure the saved button is clicked and then apply changes, and now anyone who would watch this video is going to see these annotations on the video. And that's all you really have to do. And you can add all sorts of annotations to this like I was talking about earlier. You can drag back here. Let's say I was going to add like a funky message. I could add a speech bubble, which is basically just like this note box. It's just got a nice little opaque background or semi-transparent background that you can then write stuff on, like, "Hello, YouTube, I like bacon." And then people can see that for whatever reason. And then you can adjust how long it appears on screen, starting at where your slider is located, at about 21 minutes and 32 seconds. And then they'll see this. I can also add, like, a title. And this title is really just floating text. So it's just floating text, and it's freaking massive. Like, this is the one you do if you need some really big honkin' text to show up. And you can't quite make this one clickable. It really depends on the annotation. But if you see a little link box down here, you'll know that you can use it for that. Then you've got the label, which is very similar to the spotlight, but that little note at the bottom will only show up if you hover over the box. You could use this instead of a spotlight because you can make this invisible, but it's not my preference. It can't be completely invisible, and it's just something about it looking like an old Polaroid that kind of bugs me. I'm not into old Polaroid designs. So I'm just going to delete these by clicking on this little trash can. And if you need to find a specific annotation, you'll have to go through this little list, and it goes by time code to find whichever one is in the video that you need. I wish you could label these or create like a template where I could just click on a button and copy this set of buttons to every one of my videos if I wanted to, but for what it is, it works okay. And that's really how you add annotations to your videos if you want to add extra information, if you want to let people know, like at the start of your video, like let's say you make tutorials like I do and you have a new version of the tutorial so people don't stay on the old tutorial. Because a lot of people don't necessarily read the description, you could just add a note up here. I don't know why. Oh, come on, go back to the start, dang it. Get over here. Flippin' button. Here, come here. Go back to the front. Thank you. I'll drag this over here because you can click and drag in here. And I'm going to say with a bluish background, there's a whole bunch of colors you can pick from here for the background color. I'm going to say, there's this sweet new thingy you should really watch first. This tutorial is old. And then I'll just click and drag these little corners so that all of my text shows up however I like it. And then I can also make this a video that goes to, like, I don't know, just basic youtube.com. And then they can click on this and they can go to my hypothetical new video. Yay! And those are really the primary reasons that you would use video annotations to accentuate your videos. And now I'll probably go through and I'll add the same sorts of annotations to 13 and 14. Unfortunately, there's no good way to copy and paste annotations between videos, which is something I would really love to have. I've heard that a couple of YouTube networks have a tool like that, but I can't verify because my network, TGN, does not have such fancy buttons and stuff. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. This has been how to add video annotations to your videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this has helped you out. And if you have any questions or you want any clarification on any of this, just let me know in the comments below. I will try my best to help out everybody, but, you know, sometimes there's just mysteries of the universe that not even I or Neil deGrasse Tyson know how to solve. It happens. I know it's weird. So yeah, toodles everybody.